Run for them life. When I step into the jungle, say they wanna group up. They better move up, never gonna win a Royal Rumble. But when I come through, you know what I love to. I send shots for your team and leader. I make a witness decide to vacate. The war's getting sweet, just like a ride. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle.
That's what they do. See, it's a serpent killing a sheep is what it really is. It's all a freaking trap.
Yo, you hear that? Over, smell the aroma. Them done that really long time when I ramp when the skinny couldn't wake from a coma. Listen, you hear that? Shots get fired in the walls, right? That's been like gorillas in the mist. Nothing ain't crisp when it end up in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Yo, listen, you hear that? Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle. Killers in the jungle.
To the end. Hell, where do you think I come from?
Wasn't one of them good enough? 'Cause you're upside down and inside out, and you can feel it. Inside down and upside out, and you can feel it, feel it. stop, can't stop. It's like a freight train. Don't stop, can't stop till you feel it going down. I wish I had said the things you thought that I had said. Gravity's just a habit that you're pretty sure you can't break. Upside down, inside out, and you can go. Don't stop, can't stop until you feel it going down. Upside down, inside out, and you can go. Don't stop, can't stop until you feel it going down.
Hey, what's up, my brothers and sisters? It's Mike Malone, Watchman44, bringing you a new edition of Revelations with Watchman44. It is Friday, February 21st. I'm going to jump right in this. I don't have a whole lot of time, but like I said, I'm trying to do these 3 days a week now, so I'm going to just jump right into the content, share what I have for you all, and then hopefully you'll share this with others. Like I said, I try to really just get into the repetition of all this to show you the abundance of evidence. So, all right, so there's my site. Let's start real quick. Let's do a little check-in on the fake news Fox for the half-truths to the conservative audience. I just use this as one of the mainstream media platforms. Bondi says, infamous Jeffrey Epstein client list is sitting on my desk right now. So that'll come out. This will be part of the false light deception, because if they reveal it, well, then if the other side is dark, evil, bad, then the other side has to be good, light, again, false light, and good, because people can't realize that Satan, Lucifer, would actually use children and everything else as a pawn to manipulate the masses, and it's really working quite well, as we can see. Trump sounds off on Zelensky's insults as U.S. works to broker peace deal. I've had it. Okay. Los Angeles mayor ousts fire chief who said city failed residents during wildfires. Maine's Democrat governor and Trump spar over trans athletes. I mean, just the absolute absurdity of this. Luigi Mangione gestures to sympathizers in matching sweater under a bulletproof vest. Doge finds billions in COVID relief for schools wasted, including $86,000 at a Vegas hotel. Blake Lively requests stronger protection order during Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Real important information here. New details released about Captain First Officer flying plane that crashed in Toronto. GOP governor candidate mocks James Cavill for saying she'll lose. All right, let's see. Now let's go to the half-truths of CNN. Trump turns up attacks against Zelensky. Again, Karen Bass is going to be let go as the right there. Steve Martin says Martin Short and Maya Rudolph are proof the SNL 50th COVID curse is real. No legitimate rationale. Lawmakers raise concerns over what NASA won't say about Doge. NASA. It's got to be the truth if it's coming from NASA. Anyway, we'll exit that site, exit that, go back to my site. And let's go, you know what, let's start with Telegram. We'll go through what the feed is here. So here, this is, sometimes I try to get different things that are going around the globe, but here, Starmer, again, this total global scumbag. Again, they're all on the same team. Starmer's plan for British troops to police Ukraine border. Slam. Let's control our borders first. Here, the ascent of MBS. How Saudi Arabia will pass power to its crown prince when his ailing father dies. And again, this guy plays a major role in end-time prophecy. Speaking of which, when he has the line Edom, I think it's called. It's basically an open-air prison that they're going to make. They're going to make it look real glorious and everything. But interesting, if you ever watch the video for the line, they show no roadways or entryways into that. So once you're in there, you're pretty much done. But that's to come. I'm going to go over these videos there. But this was either, again, the Rebel Call. I just say Rebel Call. It's either his current channels are Nations Conspire or Ones That Can See. I saw this here. So mRNA 1273 is a placenta, permeable, and immunogenic in the fetus. So let's read this little description here I have for you all. New, a peer-reviewed study confirms that mRNA injections cross the placenta and reach the fetuses of pregnant mice. Intramuscular mRNA injections, Moderna's mRNA vaccine for humans, rapidly cross the placenta within 1 hour, accumulates in fetal organs, translates into spike protein, and persists in fetal tissues after birth. This study provides the first in vivo confirmation that mRNA injections cross the placenta, directly reaching the fetus. There's another one of Rebel Call. I just say that's, Call's video here. I'm going to pull these videos up in a minute. I'll pull them on. I'm sorry, not in here. I'm going to pull up these videos. Actually, I have a separate browser for that. Here, let's listen to Elon here.
Don't know nothing about that guy in Butler. What's going on? But Cash is going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, yeah.
Confirmed just a couple hours ago, but I saw that the security detail that you had come in is enormous.
Well, it's not that enormous. Maybe it should be bigger. I don't know.
I think you could probably afford.
We'll get to that in a second. And I have another clip I'm going to share from here. This was interesting here. Great British food shortage. Why prices are rising and shelves are empty. I definitely foresee this coming in the future here, regardless of what they're telling us is the golden age. This here, the silent crisis in British schools. Children's forced to accept Islam. Now it's happening in the UK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a portion of this video, and you can hear what's going on over there. I saw these videos, these pictures along with some write-ups on this, but I wanted to focus in on this here. So I'd like you to focus on this. Again, it's about the duality when the two become one. So this is what this merging of iron versus machine is, but they show this split system here. But right here, I'm going to read that to you. Let me close this here. So, in me, mea spes omnis means all my hopes rest in me. Wrong. I put all of my hope rests in Jesus. And that goes back to a lot of this Christ consciousness deception that's coming upon us, right? Where you will all be, ye will be like gods, the original lie in the garden. And that's where the masses are going to go right off the cliff with this. It's becoming very apparent. So you know what? Let me actually pull up this thing I have here. I want to show you all that. So let me pull this up here. So let's come over here. So again, that's where it says, all my hopes rest in me. That's the Latin translation for that. And it's interesting. I did some research on this. Now you get the double-headed phoenix. Now this came from phoenixmasonry.org. I just wanted to read a portion of this to you or so. As the Adam knows, the double-headed eagle is a hermetic symbol representing the divine generative potency and productive capacity of nature. Like the human figure with two heads, one male, the other female. Remember, male energy, female energy. We're moving into this divine feminine. This is where the new age is going. God, nature, and the Egyptian, Osiris, and Isis. This is going to be real important with all the videos I'm going to share in a little bit. Long used as the insignia of a Scottish Rite Mason, the double-headed eagle of Lagash is now accepted emblem in the United States of America of the 32nd degree. Now again, the 32nd degree in Freemason are called white hats. But we're going to be told they're good guys, right? Dark to light. It's the oldest crest in the world. It was a symbol of power more than 2,000 years before the building of King Solomon's temple. No other heraldic bearing, no other emblematic device of today can boast such antiquity. Triangle of perfection, wisdom, power, and beauty made to represent the tetragrammaton, or sacred name of God. Yahweh is the Hebrew vocalization of this. The two-headed eagles are the coming together of two houses, Abraham and Lot, through Boaz and Ruth. The Supreme Council awards the 33 as a way of honoring outstanding and selfless work performed in the right or in public life. As its annual session, the Supreme Council elects the members of the right to receive the degree. Members unanimously so elected become honorary members of the Supreme Council. On the first day of May, 5786, the Grand Constitution of the 33rd degree, called the Supreme Council of Sovereign Grand Inspectors General, was finally ratified by His Majesty, King of Prussia, who, as Grand Commander of the Order of the Prince of the Royal Secret, possessed sovereign Masonic power over all the craft. Origin and progress of the Supreme Council 33rd degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite for England, Wales, and Dominions and dependencies of the British Crown. So anyway, I was doing some look into this, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to share some information in my feeds that I'm going to share with you all. So let's go. I'm going to continue on with this real quick because I don't have much in here in the Telegram. No sane country would stand for this. Lawmakers launch effort to withdraw the United States from the United Nations. Mike Lee and Marshall Blackburn introduced a measure in the Senate to withdraw the United States from the United Nations, saying it fails to promote American interests and does not align with President Trump's America First agenda. Rep. Chip Roy is poised to introduce the measure in the House on Friday. So part of this new United Nations, I apologize. Actually, what I'll do, let me pull up my website for you real quick if you just want to look into this yourselves. But if you go to the Noahide Law, I have a couple articles here which does some really good, I think it's, let me go to this one real quick. Yes, this page here. So if you go here and you go to Sanhedrin preparing to enforce Noahide laws, if you'll come there and read this here, there's some articles here about the new United Nations that's coming about. They're down, where are these articles at? They're down here. So if you'll go to here, there's a ton of articles here. Sanhedrin picked for the president of 70 organizations, honor Nikki Haley, president of 70 nations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So right here, the links to related articles. So if you look into this, you'll start getting some information on what this all means, where they're going with this to usher in the Noahide, universal Noahide laws. Again, that's interesting because, I listen to, now that people like myself and very limited others can expose both sides of the chessboard. But, Trump's, I was out there saying he's, this anti-Christian thing has to stop. Well, you have to keep in mind, like I said, I know he's anti-Christ, Jesus Christ of the Bible, but again, we're going to have a new type of Christ. Remember, this is another Christ and another Christ. It's instead of a replacement of the Christ. So when he says that, I mean, he's a master of half-truths. He's a liar. So that's why he can say that and get away with it. And the masses are going to buy onto this because whatever happens with the Vatican and so forth, then they're going to say, oh, well, they were lies. Well, these guys have to be the truth tellers then. But again, for people with eyes to see and ears to hear, we will be able to see through it. The Holy Spirit will not deceive us from the coming Antichrist. And I'll touch on some things on that in a second. So I just showed that thing. Elon Musk said, oh, I need bigger security. Well, here you go. Elon Musk's private security detail gets deputized by U.S. Marshal Services. Deputized members of Elon Musk's private security detail, giving them certain rights and protections of federal law enforcement agents. 3 law enforcement officials familiar with the matter told CNN. As Pope Francis entered 8th day in hospital, Vatican suggests possible resignation. So whatever's going on with this demon, I mean, this is all, as we're in the end times, this is all pretty significant. However, he's playing into this, whatever's going to come. And again, I shared in one of my last video, the list of the last popes, the prophecy of Malachi. So that's pretty important. Trump expected to take control of the United States Postal Service. Again, we're stripping down everything, and the people are cheering for it because of corruption. But again, this is all aimed towards AI governance. One of my X accounts, I've shared some of his little short videos. I'm going to pull little segments of it because I want to move quickly today. But again, getting into AI governance, that's where this is headed. Here, listen to this.
We can confirm that baby Kfir Bibas, aged just 10 months old, and his older brother Ariel, aged 4, were both brutally murdered by terrorists while being held hostage in Gaza, no later than November 2023. These 2 innocent children were taken hostage alive together with their mother Shiri from their home on October 7, 2023. Contrary to Hamas's lies, Ariel and Kfir were not killed in an airstrike. Ariel and Kfir Bibas were murdered by terrorists in cold blood. The terrorists did not shoot the 2 young boys. They killed them with their bare hands.
Okay. So, again, all atrocities of war, both sides are horrible. I do pray for Israel. I pray for the people of Israel because the leaders, the state of Israel, formed by the Rothschild family, they are the synagogue of Satan. Jays who say they are Jays and are not, but do lie. So these people, let me just pull this old one up. I should actually have this picture on standby because I use it so regularly, but let's put in the Economist, Rough Guide to Hell. Let's pull up an image real quick. Images. So again, somehow, and if I can make this a little bigger, Well, here you go. But somehow in 2013, they seemed to know that hang gliders were going to use 10 years ago, 10 years prior to the attacks on October 7th. They knew it. They have here with the Israeli star there, and then Hamas with their signage on their forehead. Somehow they knew this was going to happen, but again, I guess that's conspiracy theory to actually call these people out. So, all right, let's go along here. I'm not going. So, yeah, it's coming here. Oh, so play this clip here. So again, you watch the way to me now. Again, this channel I get this from. This is they're totally on the Trump train. They can't see these people here, but stupid. Steve Bannon has been accused of making a Nazi salute while giving a speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference on Thursday. These idiots wouldn't know a Nazi salute if it was done while hitting them in the face. So I'm going to play the clip and then watch what he does at the end.
The hardest, toughest days are ahead, folks, but you know what? Riyadh, Berlin, Beijing, Moscow, the city of London, right here. This is not beatable. You can't. The only way we lose is if we quit. The only way we don't have victory if we surrender. The only way that they win is we retreat. And we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight.
All right, did it real nonchalantly, so this way they can say, "Oh, he didn't do that. He didn't do this." Even though that symbol, that Nazi salute, that was, again, Hitler was part of the Third Reich. But what were the First and Second Reich? Well, that was Rome. Oh, and what are we being told? This is the golden age, kind of like Rome, and Elon Musk with Rome and everything else. But again, that they didn't mean it like that, right? And then when you get people that are stuck in the right-left paradigm, they pull up pictures. Well, look what the Democrats did. How come the media wasn't on fire with that? They're part of the same club. That's why they do the salutes. But they keep everybody divided and not being able to see. All right, so here we go. So here's Kabbalist Tucker Carlson.
There are a lot of videos, apparently. Those rooms on the island, and I think out in New Mexico, were wired for video.
Right.
And
where's the video? I mean, between Diddy and Epstein, there's probably several thousand hours of footage here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that the people on those videos are lecturing the rest of us about our moral failings, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is that?
Well, I mean, part of how they deflect attention from themselves is by criticizing the morals of others.
Yes.
So it's sort of like a preemptive moral strike.
Yes.
I mean, as I said, I think those who are saying Trump is a threat to democracy are themselves actually the threat to democracy.
Meanwhile, they're all on the same team. It's interesting because Elon Musk just said, it's about several thousand hours of video or whatever he said there. So all these are, how does he know that? Right? I mean, this guy's got an awful lot of power for someone who's never been elected. I mean, he's basically side by side Trump anymore. But he's got an awful lot of power. And then the Attorney General today, again, she's saying she's going to release this information. She just has to review them. She hasn't seen anything shocking. But somehow this guy, he knows there's all these thousands of hours of videotape. This is one of the videos I'll share. Prime Minister calls for a massive operation in West Bank. Further preventative activities in Israel cities. The lit fuse begins in the West Bank. The IDF announced that it will send 3 more battalions as reinforcements to the West Bank, following an assessment held in wake of the bus bombing attacks in Tel Aviv. The military says it's constantly assessing and prepared to expand the offensive operations while adding the counterterrorism mission in northern Samaria and continuing all the time, using the biblical name for the northern West Bank. United Nations chief condemns Hamas for parading bodies and displaying coffins of deceased Israeli hostages. Here, 80,000 terrorists from over 70 countries will gather at the Camille sports facility in Lebanon for the funeral of Hezbollah's former leader Nasrallah, scheduled to take place on Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Iranian foreign minister also be attending Nasrallah's funeral in Beirut on Sunday, as well as several senior leaders of the pro-Iranian militias in Iraq. A major Israeli sustained hitting this stadium wouldn't be a bad idea, as it would take out many terrorists in one full swoop. What do you think? Who knows? This is another video I shared of his. Again, this is all this design, to destroy health insurance, destroy everything. All the infrastructure going to be done because AI is going to do such a better job, and the people are going to cheer it on. 6 living hostages are due for release on Saturday in exchange for 602 Palestinian prisoners and detainees, according to Hamas, and the start of negotiations for the second phase of the ceasefire is expected in the coming days. Israeli, again, this person doesn't realize he's definitely a biblical, he's a watchman and so forth, but like a lot of watchmen, when I listen to them, they don't realize that, who the synagogue of Satan is. They're not versed with the other side of the chessboard, so I don't fault them. I know these people are men and women of God, but they don't see that. That's why he's saying Israel should not release a single Palestinian terrorist prisoner until Hamas returns Shri and releases the 6 living hostages tomorrow. Here you go. So again, Trump launches probe into predatory practice by United Healthcare to rob millions from the taxpayers. Again, this ties into that the guy that killed the CEO of United Healthcare. Again, AI healthcare is going to be the way. Oh, here we go. So let me open this up.
My discipline and my lane is infectious diseases. So I am always primary on my own mind, concerned about the evolution of yet again another pandemic. I mean, people used to ask me 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, Dr. Fauci, what is your worst nightmare? And I'm on the record, you can go back and check it, of saying my worst nightmare, my fear is the evolution of a brand new virus that likely comes from an animal species, jump species from an animal reservoir, that's respiratory borne, that easily transmits from person to person, and that has a high degree of morbidity and mortality. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened with COVID. And my worst nightmare, unfortunately, came true. My persistent nightmare is yet again another respiratory-borne infection that will have an impact. That could be flu, that could be bird flu.
So that's him, February 17th, earlier this week. And then, interestingly enough, new coronavirus with potential to cause pandemic discovered in China.
That's convenient. And it could be bird flu. Oh, here's Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. So let's listen to what she has to say for a minute.
Here is something that the political establishment and propaganda media don't want you to know. Ukraine's President Zelensky has just banned yet another political opposition party, one that questioned his legitimacy as president, and used Ukraine's Department of Justice to mandate the seizure of this party's members' assets. Now, this is just the latest of Zelensky's actions to do this sort of thing. He began banning major political opposition parties in 2022, when he also started banning TV channels that were associated with his political opponents. And he took over total control of Ukraine's largest television networks, now controlled by their government. Now, Zelensky's presidential term ended on May 20th. He canceled elections in the name of martial law, suspending Ukraine's constitution so that he could stay in power. Now, defenders of Zelensky will say, hey, Ukraine is in the middle of a war. They can't have elections. Just stop for a moment and think, if we accept that excuse or criteria for suspending the Constitution and canceling elections, then we should presume that leaders in our own country and our own establishment media will also use this same excuse and rationale when they suspend our Constitution and our elections, since we too are at war with Russia and China. If you think this sounds crazy, look at what's already going on. They've already started conditioning us to accept a dictatorship by rationalizing their own use of our Department of Justice to target President Trump and other political enemies in their efforts to stay in power.
There's Tulsi Gabbard, and this is also Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, okay, I'm headed out as well.
No, I'm sorry. We really don't have time, though.
I appreciate that. I'm still going to...
I don't know if... Where are you guys based out of?
I'm based in Houston originally, and I do independent media.
Okay.
And I'm here as a speaker. I'm also candidate for mayor of Houston right now, so I was kind of here on that issue. But I just wanted to... A lot of my audience follows your work and supports everything that you do, so Just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, I got literally like 30 seconds. But...
Okay, I've got 30 seconds
Okay.
with you then. You know, there's people who really support your anti-war stances, and there's others who have concerns that you've addressed about alleged connections to the World Economic Forum, young global leaders. And I heard on Dr. Drew, you said that, you know, that wasn't true, so I just wanted to give you a chance to elaborate on that.
I mean, I've talked about this in different podcasts, Dr. Drew's podcast, Cameron Haynes' podcast, Mickey Willis just talked a little bit about it. There's not much more to say other than the fact that they put me on their website. That's pretty much it.
You don't know why they put you there?
Well, that's a much longer conversation. I can guess why they probably did.
What about this 2015 tweet from you that says, "I'm honored to be selected as a 2015 Young Global Leader"?
There you go. Just read that.
Is this your tweet?
Yeah, it is.
So does that mean that you were selected as a Young Global Leader?
They put me on their website.
And you're saying you're honored to be selected
we
as
gotta
a...
go. We gave you
I know,
30 seconds.
All right, buddy.
I put out the tweet thinking, hey, here's an opportunity for me to represent my community. Didn't know much about the World Economic Forum, what they were about, what they stood for. I'd never gotten a phone call from them, didn't know anything other than seeing my name pop up on their website.
Have you asked them to take your name down?
We're done.
We have.
You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Long
thank
time
you.
ago.
I'm just giving her a chance to address it further.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I mean, I've addressed it over and over. I got
Okay.
nothing to hide.
I haven't heard much beyond Dr. Drew, so thank you again for
All right.
addressing that.
She's proud of it. She's proud of something she doesn't apparently know about. That's what she tells us, at least. These people are so rotten. All right, so let's jump into, I think that was my last thing for Telegram for today. So the Director of National Intelligence didn't know anything about the World Economic Forum. Trump's playing 5D chess with his buddy Klaus Schwab. Great success. You know, we got to get the whole world. Nobody will be safe unless everyone's vaccinated. And thankfully, Mr. Warp Speed got 80% of the global population to get the poison in them. So let me play this clip here. All right, blockchain. I'm going to just play 48 seconds of this. This is an 8-minute clip, but if you want to listen to this, you can go to my X account. I have a really good feed. I mean, if you don't want to listen to my videos and stuff, I try to summarize all this stuff for you as quickly as I can. But you know, if you ever just want to get it a little more, I just try to cut out. I mean, politics is really irrelevant because this is biblical. So here we go.
We're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, and make sure the gold is there.
Well, of course, Mr. Golden Dawn, who can't stop talking about how he's bringing in the Golden Age,
The golden age of America is upon us.
is now bringing into focus the gold reserves of the country found at Fort Knox. And this is happening at the same time that gold futures are going parabolic. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, along with the fact that he is known with his obsession of gold. You know, his gold hair, his gold apartment, and his gold tower. Talk about a typology or foreshadowing of the Antichrist, as we can see here in Daniel 11:38. But in their place he shall honor a God of fortresses, and a God which his fathers did not know. He shall honor with gold and silver and precious stones and pleasant things. Now,
Okay, there's that clip. I'll play this clip real quick.
singularity is coming, and I believe this guy right here is sending a message. So for those who do not know, this is the new Grok logo, which is a picture of a black hole depicting the singularity. As you can see right here, if you type in singularity on a search engine, you will come up with this. And that is because a gravitational singularity is a theoretical condition in which gravity is predicted to be so intense that space-time itself would break down catastrophically. As such, a singularity is by definition no longer part of the regular space-time and cannot be determined by where or when. Gravitational singularities exist at a conjunction between general relativity and quantum mechanics. Therefore, the properties of the singularity cannot be described without an established theory of quantum gravity. Are you also confused as I am? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. But the main point and takeaway here is that he is using this visual of the singularity with a black hole as the logo for Grok, his artificial intelligence. And as we know, the name Grok means to understand so thoroughly that the observer becomes a part of the observed, to merge, blend, intermarry, lose identity. So again, the idea of singularity, becoming one. Now, even though a lot of people see the singularity as the technological singularity, in which a hypothetical point in time at which technology or technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable consequences for human civilization, this is the idea where technology supersedes human intelligence. But the basic definition of singularity is the state, fact, quality or condition of being singular. So in simple terms, being singular, becoming one. As we just saw, the name Grok meaning to merge. So again, to become singular and one with. So it makes perfect sense that he's going to use the image of the singularity becoming one together with artificial intelligence with the name Grok, because this is his ultimate goal for mankind, to merge with his artificial intelligence God.
The merge scenario with AI is the one that seems like probably the best. Like if you can't beat it, join it.
Digital God, so ask digital God at that point.
You're bringing what? Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
His messaging is clear to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So this right here, 2 years ago, he commissioned an art piece called A Fork in the Road. And right now, in my personal opinion, mankind is at this fork in the road. Will individuals choose their own way, following after technology and the singularity with this AI God, the broad road that leads to destruction, or will they go the narrow path that few will find, which is Jesus Christ? Because he is correct about something. The singularity is coming, and people are either going to become singular or united, merging together with artificial intelligence and the Antichrist during the tribulation, or people will become singular, merging and connecting with God. Because remember that.
So again, it's the merging of iron and clay, the last kingdom. So that's right where we're at, and I'm going to play a portion of this.
A new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible.
I know a bribe when I see one, just like he did back in 2020 with the stimulus checks. So this situation right here on top of the stimulus checks back in 2020 is what you call conditioning. And you may be asking, conditioning for what? Well, they are conditioning the population for their ultimate goal of implementing universal basic income. Now, I do not want you ill-informed brothers and sisters, but please understand how manipulators work, because manipulators might condition someone in forming a relationship with them by using flattery, intimacy, or sympathy so that they get what they want in the future. Misusing authority, they may use hierarchies or power structures to undermine the position of those they want to control. Now, you may be asking, how is this manipulation? How is this conditioning? Well, just like the stimulus checks, this situation right here is where the government acts like the good guys, giving you free money. And that is because in the future, they desire everybody to be on a universal basic income. As we have already seen, the false prophet himself has prophesied of this future and how he predicts the universal basic income will take off once AI replaces workers. How ironic, since he is the one who wants to implement artificial intelligence and robotics. And it's not just the second beast from the land who wants to bring in universal basic income. His best friend Sam Altman also dreams of a universal basic income. Oh, and by the way, this is not just an American thing. This is global, as we can see right here. South Africa, UBI, grants coming in February 2025. And as we can see coming out of Europe, how multiple countries have tested a universal basic income. This is a global agenda which will lead to the mark of the beast, where individuals will not be able to buy, sell, or trade without taking the mark. And this is also why you are witnessing the disappearance of cash right in front of your eyes. And this is also why you are witnessing the rise of crypto and the push for the US to become the crypto capital. Because ultimately, the financial aspect of the beast system cannot operate with cash. The Antichrist financial beast system will need to use some form of blockchain technology, because through blockchain technology, the Antichrist will be able to control what somebody buys, sells, or trades. And this is also why you are witnessing the push for tokenized stocks and bonds. Straight from the WEF, how tokenization is transforming global finance and investment. And ultimately, this financial system will be tied and connected to artificial intelligence, which in my opinion will be the image of the beast that the false prophet breathes life into. And through the false dichotomy, the left-right paradigm is how they are conditioning and manipulating the masses to cheer on this future. Like I've hammered on before, it is the problem, reaction, solution. These spiritual principalities that we war against are master manipulators, and they know what they're doing. And through this Hegelian dialectic problem, reaction, solution is how they are going to usher in the Novus Ordo Seclorum the golden age, the Antichrist beast system. What's the problem? Financial corruption and distrust with the individuals who rule over you. What's the reaction? People are fed up with this corruption and the individuals who rule over you. The solution? We are going to fire them. We are going to implement AI governance because AI is truth-seeking. And then...
Okay. All right. So this is Shaking My Head's Productions. Shaking My Head Productions. So it's singular. Shaking My Head Productions. He does an awesome job showing the predictive programming and TV. So I want to just play, this is one of his videos, his time's almost up. This was done actually a week ago, but it was in my feed and for some reason it prompted me to watch it. So I want to just play just very short clips of this, but here. This is I don't even know what the movie is, but it was pretty good the way he highlighted this.
Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Jesus Christ. Well?
You surprised to see me, Joseph?
Okay, so that goes into the AI God now. I'm going to fast forward this video just till a little bit till right. All right, here.
That's a difficult question, Dr. Tiger. Can you prove that you are?
Well, he certainly hasn't lost his sense of humor.
I don't know why this prompted me to look at this when I saw this. BDC. So B243 Strong's Concordance. It means of another, other or another. So again, when I said other or replacement, so this AI God that they're introducing the image of the beast, isn't that interesting that happened to be that? Now, I don't always just search numbers. I just sometimes when I see certain things, it like presses on me, and I see that it just makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to show one more clip that they did from this very same movie to go show you how wicked these people are here.
Quantum processors.
This is astounding. Is all this based on pen?
We've moved well beyond that now. Paul has been blind since birth.
They cured blindness. Paul. Isn't that interesting how they did that? Here, let me play this clip. This is the story about what they're doing, the crisis in British schools. Children are being forced to accept Islam, so I'll play this.
Cry from a British student has become a powerful symbol of a deepening crisis in the UK's educational system. They are forcing us to learn about Islam and Muhammad in school. I don't want to know, he narrates. I want to learn about my culture. I'm proud to be English. These words, echoing through social media, have struck a chord with thousands of concerned British parents and citizens, highlighting a disturbing trend in British schools. Take a listen. This is disgusting.
In schools, they're pressuring us to learn about Islam and learn about the people that are coming over. I don't want to learn about that. I want to learn about my culture, my beliefs, and I'm proud to be English. Yeah.
Have they taught you about the Bill of Rights?
No.
Did you learn about the Battle of Agincourt?
No. In school, they were teaching us about, about Islam, about Prophet Muhammad, and all their ideologies. They barely covered Christianity at all.
Did they tell you about how he was a warlord who brutally...
Okay, so let me go back to my X feed, my profile. I'm just going to zip through some of the things I want to show because there's a couple of short clips. How about this picture? Do you notice anything about Happy Rockefeller, former Second Lady of the United States and wife? What? This is the wife, this woman. Oh man, it's so on our face all the time, but we just didn't play. This feed, if you want to come to this, Catherine Austin Fitz, she said it's not. She's a really wise woman. It's not about making America great. It's making billionaires trillionaires. So this woman's really sharp. She did that. So I want to play this clip here for you. So again, remember the Freemasons and Osiris. that's why it's so critical to show repetition. Isn't it interesting that the Catholic Church, I never knew this, but apparently now that if you're not Catholic and they have you come up for communion, you actually have to do that symbol to get their communion. I'll play just two more quick clips, and I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, I think that's going to do it. I think I vote. Here you go. Look, here you go. Third term project for Trump 2028 and beyond. And what is Tulsi Gabbard saying? That Zelensky is the dictator? And here, Jesus Christ is not a piece of bread or a bottle of wine. Every time you partake in these pagan rituals, you are sacrificing to Jesus again and again and again. Jesus is the last sacrifice, and he was enough. Turn away from any church that promotes this pagan practice. If any man says, here is Christ, believe him not. And what does the Catholic Church do week in, week out? And again, this is coming from a former Catholic. So let me see if there's anything else I want to share real quick. Yes, I will pull up this. So interestingly enough, if Biden, they were always about all the radical Dems and everything, putting pornographic books in front of children. But then his leader of the Office of Faith, this woman, I just shared in my last video there that she talks with her husband at church, and she was notified there was children in there, and then he continued to talk about why they need to watch pornography. So Trump's faith advisors, Christians must learn from Jews, not convert them. The merging. Judeo-Christian, the greatest oxymoron of all time. Christians believe that Jesus is the Son of God and that he died for our sins and was resurrected. Judaism, Phariseeism demand the crucifixion of Jesus. They demanded that. The Jewish Talmud teaches that Jesus was the bastard child of a Roman soldier and a prostitute, that he is in hell boiling in his own excrement, and that killing Christians isn't a crime. So tell me again what we have in common. Christian Zionism. So again, he praised this guy just at his press conference the other day, and I'll play this last clip and then we'll wrap this up. Here's it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's play this last one. It's 2 minutes and I'll wrap this up. Actually, let me just read here. So it says, always go to the comments. They ain't looking good for most people. Deception is blanking the earth. So they're looking for their hero, and just read the comments. I mean, like I said, you want to talk about a great actor. Okay, so that is going to be a wrap for today. Okay, they push Elon Musk as the richest man in the world, but then the Rothschilds family combined wealth is 15.7 trillion. And remember, he's a billionaire, Musk, but these people are trillionaires. But let me play this clip from here.
People like sometimes like to end this war. Say like, I'm a bought asset of Putin. Yeah. I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it.
Anyway, I get like a righteous anger when I watch all these lizard snake people on the world stage manipulating the masses, and I just keep hoping to do my part to save as many lost souls, lost sheep as possible. So as always, I hope you appreciate the content. I hope you'll share this with other people. Try to bring people back to the Lord. Look at the evidence. I mean, my end game is always to try to get people to get to my website, go through my Revelations pages, go through Noahide pages, go through Dark to Light pages. And it's just, again, I'm a conduit to other brothers and sisters in Christ and their information. They've done great presentations. You just do it. It's indisputable. All someone has to do is be willing to look. So, again, please share this with others. I do appreciate your time. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you. God bless. Always remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Mike Malone, Watchman44, signing out.